Hello and welcome back to the channel, everybody. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and we are going to do what we can to try to break this losing streak I'm on. Oof, feels bad to be in a huge slump, you know? And whereas 3 isn't the biggest slump in the world, it's more than I'm used to for this game. First things first, let's just hit up that... old RNG. And smooth jazz tracks, I think for the second time in a row. No, alright, we're already on the smooth jazz. Alright, so how are we going to do this? How are we going to break the negative streak here? Well, first things first, let's go with a robe that gives us a little bit more wiggle room. Because one of the losses was with fall, and of course that's just all you really need to die when you're using the fall limited edition robe combo, is get hit with an attack that just hits you for a big combo count while doing little damage. At that point, fall isn't doing anything to help you. And then the other 2 losses were while using this robe, which, although shouldn't have been an issue, it's what happens when you have things on your mind. So we'll just go ahead and grab the rule robe. There's a part of me that wants to just jump on the old captain's ring. It's a good standby. But maybe something here will... Let me not take that, actually. I have my reasons. Alright, so now the idea is just to start gathering up more tools. So, now... let's go wave front. Let's see, what would make for a good... let's see, Bouncing Blaze usually works out well, but I think... let's see, do I want to do something different? Yes, I do. I want to do Wind Slash. Then we're going to grab a couple of things that are going to let me do what I do best. Fight at range. Or maybe not necessarily just at range, like projectiles necessarily, but just something that'll help keep a brother safe. There's so many things that I generally like using. Radiant Knockout. And there we go. And you know what? I just changed my mind. This is very heavily leaning in the direction of melee. Let's grab that Dark Katana. And you know what? I'm gonna change my mind one more time. We're gonna go with the Awe Robe. Let's make this an interesting one. Alright, so go ahead and make that trade. No thanks. No thanks. Nah, I'm just gonna go. Alright, so one thing that I am noticing that I'm thankful for, I don't have to deal with Shu. Now, that could be seen as both a good and a bad thing, because if I'm having trouble with Shu, as I seem to be, one of the best things I can do is, fight him so I can keep practicing. So now what we could use right now is a good control method. Because right now we've got plenty of power on our side. Now we just need to make sure we've got a way to control the onslaught a bit. Which, to be fair, yeah, Sonic Breaker would do the job. But when it comes to control, I do... Oh, hold on, I just saw something. You don't turn down Crimson Clover when you see it, especially when your run is built on critical hits. Oh, and you're here! My goodness. About the best thing you have, though, is Wallet of Splendor. Which, to be fair, there's no downside to taking that, so I'll just grab it. So why did I take Wind Slash of all things? You know, the most basic of all the basics. Basically because I like how it works when it's upgraded. Well, geez, the game couldn't give me an easier win condition, I'm not gonna lie. Like, honestly, it almost feels cheap to keep running this, but I will do so. Because frankly, I could use a little bit of a pick-me-up. After noticing that I was in a bit of a slump, I started to kind of question where I was going wrong, and I'm sure some of you would probably say, oh, you went wrong when you started underestimating some of the Arcana you were using. Really? Underestimating Permafrost Bulwark? The fact of the matter is, there are some things that are just more difficult for me personally to use than other things. But what I have right now is really nice. There we go. Well, if I'm being fair, there is also something to be said for a kind of like lacking amount of practice too. Because normally by playing this game as much as I do for the channel, I get plenty of practice at it. Owie. But as of late, because I've been kind of doing things just a little bit different, and because I've been working different hours, son of a bitch. That also means that I've been a little bit more tired as of late. Simultaneously, it also means that, my mindset is just a little different. And if I may just go ahead and confess something real quick, I haven't exactly been in the greatest spot mentally since Valentine's Day, actually. Which, yeah, we'll just go ahead and throw out the usual cringe of, oh, I'm lonely on Valentine's Day. It's not really my intention to sit here and complain about that for the next 30 minutes or so, but I mean, it is something that's been on my mind. Let's just say things have not been going well in that regard. I'm not going to go into details because I don't think that's appropriate. I'm just going to say that my best efforts in that regard are kind of in vain, and just leave it at that. One thing that I really don't want to do is start using my channel as a platform to vent that type of frustration. This isn't the place for it. But the only real reason why that's even a thing is because, there are people I'm interested in, but, it's kind of not cool when, you're showing interest and you're not getting it back. So that's had me kind of down lately. But I mean, job is going well. I can't complain about that. I do still very much enjoy the job. We'll definitely upgrade Wavefront. And, ooh. Very interested in grabbing Arcsphere. Because I know that will work with the... Am I? Okay, so yeah, that is the Agile level. Blades of Sympathy. Okay. Don't really know what I'm going to do with those, but there they are. So, forgive me for taking a few moments just to kind of hash out a little bit of whining. I'm perfectly ready to get over myself. There we go. Hey, Fading Petal. I mean, I'll grab it, but I'm not sure I'm going to use it very much. Actually, honestly, it'll probably work out pretty well here instead of Arcsphere. Mostly because I don't want to... Mostly because I don't want to go in here with something that they're going to resist. You know, this definitely feels a little bit more like my style. And yes, we are going to put on the Vampire Hunter D outfit. I'm sorry if you don't know who Vampire Hunter D is, but then if you don't know who D is, then you probably haven't lived. There we go. So Fading Petal is one of those projectiles that works actually pretty well with a melee build, because you can use a bit of a melee combo, then draw the enemy back into you and hit them again. Which is, of course, the whole crux behind the Ultra Combo build. And now I get to use it again. You can use it here in a kind of slightly different variant. And you know what? I am A-okay with that. Actually, it's got a pretty good range, too. So I actually meant to use the Fading Petal there, but I forgot. Or rather, I thought it was on a different button. Alright, do we have anything good here? Yes, we've got the Wanderer's Mechanism. I can totally dig that. But before I spend money on relics, I would also like to know what Arcana are for sale. Also, just as a quick reminder, if you guys haven't seen, Wizard of Metal is back on track. We actually have a real poll up and everything. Which, yeah, I know that doesn't mean much, but I'm super down to get back to Wizard of Metal, and I hope you guys are willing to support that. I know it's been one of those things that's been kind of iffy for a lot of people, but I am hoping that you guys will find some enjoyment out of it. I will put a link in the description of the video to the poll. For those of you that don't know what Wizard of Metal is, one of the things that I like to do with this game is, because there's so many different options for Arcana and build, what I like to do, I mean, aside from get my ass kicked by enemies that have strangely large ranges on their attacks, is I like to do runs that are themed around certain things. Now, for a while, I was doing character themes, but as of late, I've been transitioning to different themes, and one of those themes is music. Now, the form of music that I really like is, okay, I like Singing Bowl, I like Jade Chakra Locket. I'll come back to those after I know what sort of Arcana there are to spend money on and how many Chaos Gems I'm going to spend on it all. One of the form of music that I tend to like the most is metal, which is why I started doing this series called Wizard of Metal. But since then, I've decided to kind of branch out. Now I'm willing to look at anything that counts as rock. And the reason why I'm focusing on rock is because it's, at least where I live, it's the form of music that's been kind of pushed off to one side. Oh my god, I hate those barrels so much. form of music that's unfortunately been pushed aside largely thanks to just a problem of relevance in the modern day zeitgeist. And part of the reason why it's become so irrelevant is because of the churning out of a specific type of rock. We definitely upgrade that. And when I say a specific type of rock, what I mean is rock and roll that's very safe, very kind of uninspired, uncreative. It's this very kind of watered down idea of what rock and roll used to be. And it's kind of a shame because, by the way, yes, I am noticing that I'm taking a lot of really stupid hits. And even though right now the build is very much accommodating for that, I'm very understandable of the idea that I need to take fewer hits in order to succeed. Yeah, she'll end up taking this. As much as I love Bouncing Bubble, we are going to give it to Dr. Song. Ooh, my goodness, everything's coming up Millhouse. So I'm also seeing one of the problems that I've been having lately, and that is that I am very much a victim of my own hubris. I think I'll go without the singing bowl, mostly because my critical hit rate is good enough that I feel like I kinda don't need it. I mean, that's plus 10. This is tripling it, and that's plus 15. It's plus 12. Though I guess to be fair, there's no reason not to. No reason not to take that either, even though I don't really want it. Yeah, I took way too much damage on that floor. Like, that was absolutely ridiculous. So I think one of the things I need to do is maybe refocus on my fundamentals instead of trying to be like quick and impressive. Because you know what's even more impressive than being fast and being a show off? Surviving. I certainly don't want to have to always have, this specific setup in order to succeed. And how often am I going to be getting something like this super critical build? Like, no, that's not going to happen very often. I need to be able to work runs without everything being just overpowered. Now, it's very possible, although I think kind of unlikely considering that I lost the last 3 runs in a row, that maybe some of you are thinking that I'm being a little too hard on myself. But you know, consider the way that I normally play. I don't normally have as much trouble as I've been having over the last few runs. So I need to, if need be, relearn how the heck to play this game. Like, maybe don't walk into the ice trap. That seems like it would be a good place to start, is, hey, don't walk into the ice trap. Yeah, this is a seriously powerful run. There's nothing here I really want. Well, maybe that, though. The breezy gray canvas is actually a pretty good item. Go away! Jesus, thank you. So let me know what... Do me a favor and let me know what your stance is on that. Am I being too harsh on myself, or have I been dropping the ball lately? Now, my own statement, despite how harsh it might sound, is that I've been dropping the ball. Like, I should not be playing as poorly as I've been playing, but I justify it as being tired and just not having my mind in the game. But maybe, and it's very possible that the real problem here is just poor mental health. I mean, as it always is, really. And I try not to blame everything on just a poor mental state, but it doesn't really affect a lot. Like, if you normally are really good at something, but your mind is elsewhere, you can and will make mistakes, even at something that you're very good at. As an example, I should know to use a projectile to clear out those nitroglycerin barrels before they get me in trouble. But for some reason, I wasn't thinking about that in the room where I got blown up. And as a result, I ended up taking a crap load of damage because I just ran right in without thinking about it. Well, like I said, maybe the problem is I hold myself to too high of standards. Maybe the problem is that I don't know. I just want to know what you guys think. Because there's always the chance that it really is that there's not necessarily anything wrong with me per se. I mean, that was kind of embarrassing. Days. This room is kicking my ass. Let's get those damn things out of the way. Come on, brain. We're better than this. I guess that's kind of where I'm at right now, is kind of between, trying to push Wizard of Metal because I love talking about music, and trying to essentially relearn my tactics for this game. That's kind of where my brain is at. Yeah, no thanks. Not seeing anything there that's really catching my fancy. Nah. And what about over here? Also no. Okay. Alright, I think part of the problem is that I'm also trying to be too aggressive. Like 333 damage, that's unacceptable. Ugh, yeah, I'm trying too hard to be a little too aggressive. One would think that I would have learned my lesson from the last couple of goes, but no, apparently not. God, that was embarrassing. Shouldn't be getting hit by all this crap. And for what it's worth, though, I'm not suggesting that I'll only be happy if I can do a run without getting hit a single time. That's not what I'm getting at. But taking some of the hits that I have been taking, definitely not good. Here we go. Because there are some things I should really be able to get away from, but... Now, the thing you really need to be careful of is, yeah, that. Oh, that was not smart. There we go. Hey, I won one again. Though I'm not sure if I only won it because I had an overpowered build by the end, or if I was actually doing better. I guess we'll find out in the next one, but there you go. That one was fun. I could do that again. So thank you guys very much for watching. Again, let me know what you think in the comments below, because I'm aware that because of where I'm standing on myself right now, that it's very possible that I might be being harder on myself than I need to be. And maybe I'm jolly on the spot, so let me know what you guys think. I'm very much looking forward to having a discussion about this in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next one. My name is Dark Sage Walker, and don't forget to vote for the song you want to see turned into a theme run on Wizard of Metal, and I will be seeing you